These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26 article quote IMF staff concludes staff visit with Iraq from the IMF from the horse's mouth gives permission to pull the financial linchpin on the grenade of the monetary reform. Pimpy article quote IMF expresses optimism about non-oil financial growth in Iraq. Pimpy says this is a major must for Iraq. They need non-oil financial growth. They can't get to this fast enough. They can't get to this to grow quick enough. The fact they rely so much on oil is going to hurt them instead of benefit them. If oil prices fall, they're back to square one. They'll start devaluing the Iraqi dinar if they can't find alternative ways to generate revenue for the state. Mark Z via PDK bank story from a member went into local Chase bank to withdraw some cash. The teller asked me if I would wait one moment. I asked her if everything was all right with my account, and she said yes. Moments later, the bank manager approached me, introduced herself. She took me to her office, asked me if I still had the Vietnamese dong that I had purchased. I told her yes. She smiled, shook my hand, said she looks forward to doing business with me very soon. Mark Z said, I'm sure the teller had a notice flash on her screen telling her this customer purchased foreign currency. All right, Samson article quote Al Sudani congratulates the winners of the local elections and invites them to interact with his government's plans. Jeff says the reforms are absolutely waiting on the rate change to implement. They can't implement the reforms without changing the rate. They're telling you the rate change itself is very clearly waiting, has been waiting this entire year on these elections. All right, Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground report. Firefly bank guy said the dinar inside our country has steadily being established with stability. Because of these efforts, the dollar is dropping every day. This whole week, it had a major decline. The dollars will continue to drop. Start the new year with no dollar actions allowed anywhere. Frank said, I believe somewhere around the 1st they have no choice but to give you value. All right, Nader from the Mideast says, when we told you new currency is coming out, when we told you the rate will change, it is. Now it depends how it's going to go. If they continue to attack the embassy and continue to BS over there, it can slow things down. But here's my expectation. I can be wrong. I can be right. My expectation is the 1st of January will be no more dollar. A couple days later, a week later, new currency will come out. Maybe 2 or 3 days later, a rate will come out. That's what I think. Mark Zevia PDK says the big news is the article and report from the IMF where they quite literally say that Iraq has a fantastic year ahead, and much of that is due because of the passing of the exchange rate revaluation. The IMF released an actual bulletin discussing how well their meetings went with Iraqi officials. They talk about all the things Iraq did right and what the world is going to be. They even mention that part of what will make their economy so successful in 2024 is the exchange rate revaluation. I asked an Iraqi contact in government finance his thoughts about if revaluation. They mentioned the one in February where the dinar went from 1562 to about 1300 dinar per $1. He said, no, this is not what they're referencing, so this is exiting straight from the IMF itself. Now we just need to cross the finish line. Militiaman says they're talking about reducing Iraq's dependence on oil. Dependence on oil is going to go away because they have non-oil related products, services, and sectors. That's going to be from the taxes and tariffs at the borders, imports, exports, natural resources. They're going to have other than just oil. They're going to have other circumstances. They're talking about 350 million ton of sulfur. They're trying to achieve sustainability for private sector. All right, Pimpy says Iraq is still taking the steps necessary to stabilize their economy, stabilize their currency, give value and strength to the Iraqi dinar. Frank 26, Franklin, Tennessee bank story. Bank story man said there's a chase down the road where I live. And I thought, let me go verify the information from my other bank story. And walked in, there was two young girls. The branch manager was tied up in a meeting. I said, I'm curious whether you do foreign exchange. She said, yes, we do. Which currency? And I said, Iraqi Dinar. She had the funniest look on her face. She said, yes, I believe we can. The girl next to her said, no, we cannot. The girl I was talking to pointed at the screen, and the other girl looked down and went, oh, yes, but we don't have the ability to talk to you about it now. Frank said, boom, mum's the word. Bank story man said, I understand. I said, is it true about the $5,000 increments? They can only exchange $5,000 worth at a time. She said, it is true. She said, but listen, sir, listen to me, sir, we want your business. If you sit here all day doing $5,000 increments, we don't care. All right, and lastly, Bruce via Wiser Now. They want this blessing to come to us before Christmas this year, 2023 Christmas. That's the goal, that's the plan, and I believe we still will get this done this week. Everything is set to go. Bruce says redemption centers are fully trained and ready, and let's look forward to the next couple of days.